Welcome back once again, friends, family, enemies, everybody. This is the world as we see it. Not the world as you see it, but the world as we see it. You know, I know that most of you have noticed that in the past 2 years, we've had a number of revolutions, a number of takeovers on the African continent. Now, the Western press refer to them as coups, whatever that means. I call them revolutions. People shaking off the colonial or neo-colonial masters and seeking their own place in the sun. And we've had one in Niger, we've had one in Burkina Faso, we had one in Mali, and one in Guinea. It had something that looked like a coup or looked like a revolution in Gabon, but we're not too sure about that. That's just one family member taking over from another. But there's something is strange. Something is kind of off. Because we could certainly take a look at what's going on in Burkina Faso. We take a look at what's going on in Mali, what's going on in Niger, and we see movement. We see anti-colonial movement. We see anti-French movement, not just in rhetoric, but in action, okay? But in Guinea, not so sure. Guinea seems to be either 2 steps behind or they're on a totally different page. You know, seems as though they've taken over, but it doesn't appear that this is an anti-colonial or at least 100% anti-colonial, anti-French movement. You know, now I don't know if it's because the wife of the new president is French. That may have nothing to do with it, you know. But I know back in the civil rights movement, of course I'm too young to have been back there, but I read about this, heard this. There used to be a saying that says, you can't sleep white and fight black. I'll let you run with that, okay? Ooh. You can't sleep white and fight black. Or you can flip it around. You can't fight black while sleeping white. Right? I don't know if that's the case, but I know that there seems to be a gulf between what's happening in Guinea, Conakry, Guinea, and what's going on in the other areas. We're talking about Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. Okay? I'm not the only one who noticed this. My good friend, Julius Malema, down in South Africa, and I keep telling you to go check him out, he actually took notice of this too. It's funny because my wife and I were discussing this, and then she found the video where he was talking about it. And I'm like, wow, it's good to know that when you're thinking something, you're feeling some way, that there's somebody else, even if they're a continent away, feels the same way. So I'm going to play his video or play some of his comments, and you let us know if you agree with Julius Malema, if you agree with me, we agree with each other. You may disagree with both of us. That's okay. But put your comments down in the comment section. Let us know which side of the fence you on or what you see. Maybe you have some information that he doesn't have or information that I don't have. And I'd love to get some more information, as much information as I could possibly get. So until next time, this is The World We See It, Coherent. Assalamu alaikum.
Please do not forget to subscribe.
Follow the voice.
Where we think there is a revolution taking place in Guinea Conakry, only to find that there is a French puppet who seeks to replace those who were there before. There is nothing revolutionary about the Guinea Conakry coup. We ought to separate that there can never be a revolutionary coup that reinforces French imperialism on African soil. Anyone who comes into political office under the pretext that they are fighting a French puppet while knowing they are the French puppet themselves must be isolated by progressive Pan-Africanists. All French soldiers and military must leave the African continent, and this also should apply to neo-colonial military bases, including the African Command Center of the USA. We don't want the army of America. We don't want the army of France here. We don't want the army of anyone. We want African army on African soil. The Pan-Africanist Institute should therefore provide ideological, political, and technical weapons to all progressive forces of the African continent to fight against colonialism. There is a political trend that is being accepted by African heads of state and government, where one country convenes all 54 heads of African states and government. The United States of America, France, China, Russia, and United Kingdom convene all 54 heads of states and government for a meeting, and they all go following each other like Casey and Jojo as heads of states to listen to one head of state, 51 of them. Sometimes they disrespect them to a point where they put all 54 heads of states of Africa in a school bus to go and listen to one head of state. What happened to these men? Because all of them, majority of them are men. What happened to these fathers who go and bow combined to one man? Even if he's Putin, why would they all follow each other and go and listen to one person? What happened to their dignity and their authority as leadership? They must have leadership qualities to know that Putin is equal to them, that China is equal to their own single country, irrespective of their size, because what matters is sovereignty. And if China recognizes that sovereignty, will respect the president of that sovereign country as an individual. Comrade,